Hey everybody, welcome back to Baseline Farms. My name is Jade. So today is going to be a hot day today. Today is July 15th and it is supposed to be 110 degrees today. So it is definitely going to be a hot day today. So many things have happened on the farm, and some good and some bad. So first, the baby ducklings. We have not caught that skunk, and a couple weeks ago I went out to the chicken coop to check on the baby ducklings, and just like I normally do in the morning time to feed them, and they were all gone. All 5 baby ducklings were gone. There was nothing inside the chicken coop that looked like that the dogs got in there, anything like that. There was nothing like that. Nothing was disturbed. I did notice a small hole in the netting because I had this plastic netting over the horse trough, and I noticed a small hole in there that wasn't there before. And so we think that a skunk or a possum or something like that got into the chicken coop where our dog couldn't see or protect them, and literally ate all 5 baby ducklings. I can't even believe it. But on the lighter side, my girlfriend who took the 4 baby ducklings, it was just too overwhelming for her to have 4 ducks because these Muscovy ducks get so big. So we were able to get 2 ducks back. So we have 2 ducklings, and what I've been doing to make sure that they stay safe is I keep them here in the big garden, and I put them in a dog crate. So I put down a bunch of straw inside the dog crate, and at night I lock them in the dog crate, and because they're so small, I keep them underneath a plum tree right over here so they don't leave the plum tree. They stay underneath the shade for protection. So that's one good thing. Now, I can't keep them in here for their whole lives because they will eat up the garden. So I'm planning on making them a little area once they get bigger to be able to protect themselves. Inside the chicken coop area, we're going to put a little fencing up and have them have a little area where they could where we could probably put some water or a little pond or a little waiting area for them, something to keep them protected. But right now I have them here inside the big garden. That way, if anything were to come to try to get them, at least Hank will be there to protect them. So he will bark, and he can at least jump the 4-foot fence, so that's not a problem for him. But I pray that they stay safe in here, but yet we put a trap out, nothing, no animals whatsoever. And it could be because I moved the ducklings out of the chicken coop and there's nothing for them to eat in there besides the bigger chickens, which the bigger chickens will fight back, and they do make sound, and I don't know. So that is what's happening as far as the ducklings go, which is so sad, but that's just, that's just life on the farm. When I first came out here, my first experience with that was we had a bunch of baby ducklings inside the pond, 13 of them. And I was so excited. Every day I would come out and start counting the ducklings, and then one day John's like, stop counting the ducklings, and I just kept counting them. I was like, wait a minute, there's like 10 today. And then the next day it was 8, and the next day there was 5. And and the next day there was just 1. So it was, the hawks were eating them, the raccoons were eating them. So I'm hoping that these 2 baby ducklings are going to stay safe. So they're so cute. I'll show you in a minute. But this is not about that. So today I am harvesting some cucumber. See all these cucumber? Look at that. I have so many cucumber on this plant. And when I first started gardening, I would pick my cucumber and put it straight into the refrigerator, wash it, put it straight into the refrigerator. And then when I wanted to use it or eat it, it was kind of like flimsy and soggy, and I couldn't understand why it was that way. So I did so much research, and I found a YouTuber that talked about how to keep her cucumbers crunchy. And so what she did was she put her cucumbers into a bucket of cold water. This particular vlogger, her name is what is her channel called? Roots and Refuge. That's the name of her channel. And so she just clipped the cucumbers, put them in nice cold water, and that's what kept them from going soggy, So that's what I've been doing. And so what I do is I bring out a little bucket like this, and I harvest the cucumber, and I literally just pop it right into the bucket. And that what happens is it'll absorb all that cold water, as much water as it can, and then that way you can dry them, store them in the refrigerator, which I put them either in a little Tupperware with a paper towel to absorb any moisture, or I put them in a Ziploc bag, and same thing, I put a paper towel in there. So these Katrina cucumbers are doing really, really well. But I noticed that I had a little bit of an aphid problem. Now, some of the leaves, I noticed that there were some aphids growing on them, or not growing, sucking the nutrients out of them. So what I did was I clipped off those leaves, and they seem to be doing better. But I think that's why this is a greenhouse variety, because maybe it's not pest resistant. It's my first time ever growing this, but this particular Katrina variety is said it's supposed to be for a greenhouse, and I don't have a greenhouse, so I decided to plant it here in the garden. And it was doing really, really good in the cool weather, but as soon as it started warming up, which it's so hot right now, that's when I noticed the aphids. But there's so many cucumber on here, so it's hard for me to pull it out. But I think I'm gonna have to pull this plant out eventually within the next few days if it continues to persist, because I don't want to spray any chemicals on here. I've been doing pretty good so far. So the only thing I have put down was snail bait, but I put it on the outside of the garden bed. So I don't know, I might succession sow another thing of cucumbers. But let's just harvest the rest of these, and then I'm gonna also sow some tomato seeds. So this is the first time I've ever done this. I think we have enough. So we live in zone 90, and we have a pretty long growing season. I think we have like about 130 days left in our growing season. And so I have been doing so much research, because I started all these seeds in February, early February, for my tomatoes. And usually by August, they tend to start dying out. So my hope is that if I sow some more of tomato seeds, they're the determinate variety, which means that they are already determined, their fruit is already determined, compared to the other ones that kind of keep vining, the indeterminate. So what I decided was I'm going to plant some of these determinate tomatoes, because some of them are anywhere from a 60-day harvest to a 70-day harvest. I think I have one for a 55-day harvest. So I thought, you know what, let's give it a try, see what happens, see if I could grow some more tomatoes and have some more tomatoes all the way up and through October, which that would be so amazing. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that, and where I'm going to plant them, and how I'm going to start them, and what I'm using, and then just harvest the rest of these cucumbers. And I do have some zucchini I need to harvest. Oh my goodness, so many things. But it is already warming up, so let's just get started on this harvesting, and then I'll show you what tomatoes I'm going to be planting. Alright, so here are all the zucchini and cucumber that we have harvested. We harvested quite a few cucumbers from two different areas. So that is our harvest for this morning. Now, there are a few tomatoes that are blushing, so I cannot wait until this evening to harvest those. And yeah, so that is pretty much what we have going on. Now, I've already started some seeds right in here, but I don't know if they're gonna germinate because I let them dry out during the heat. So that's why I decided I'm gonna start another succession of tomatoes, but then put them in this little tray. So this is a tray that I think we had some cupcakes in or something like that. So I decided I'm just gonna sow the seeds in here because it has a little dome top to keep it moist. And yeah, I'm just gonna put all the seeds in here. So what we have are some Lake Valley heirloom variety, and these are a 77-day harvest. And then we have some of these Tomato Bush Glacier. These are a 55-day harvest by Botanical Interest. And then we grew these last year, and these are the Tomato Roma VF, and these are all determinate, and this is a 76-day harvest. So what I'm gonna do is, I completely forgot to get some tags, so I'm gonna do that in just a little bit, but I'm just gonna go ahead and make some little indentions, and then I'm gonna pop the tomato seeds right in here. And I'm probably just gonna sprinkle the soil, some more soil, seed starting mix over the top. And I'm not gonna put these in the trailer. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave these outside. So we're gonna put about 3 in each one. So this one is the Roma Tomato VF, and I had such a good, we had such good results with this one. So I am so excited to see if these are gonna turn out well for this summer, because this heat, oh my goodness, it's a killer. It's a killer to some of these plants. And so I really do need to go buy some shade cloth because I don't have any shade cloth. I've been using umbrellas, and that's just what we have. So I'm really debating whether or not I should go and spend some money on some shade cloth or what. But I don't want my plants, some of them are doing really good, some of them are not. Some of the tomatoes I noticed that are ripening. One part of it is kind of pale, so that's the one I've been using the umbrellas on, is because they get the brute of the sun, they get the hottest part of this of the day. So now this one is the Roma heirloom, so we're gonna go ahead and put that. God, I hope I remember which ones I planted. Either way, we're just gonna have a bunch of tomatoes. So this is, I'm just so excited. So I'm gonna put 3 in each hole. Just like that. Okay. Now for our last one, which is the Glacier by Botanical Interest. This is gonna be so, I cannot wait. I hope we get a ton of tomatoes this second time around. So far, so good. I've only harvested a couple, and that's because they were looking a little funny looking. They look, I think they call them cat-faced. So where a bunch of tomato blossoms are clumped together and form one awkward looking tomato. So we did harvest some of those, and we did eat them, and they were so good. So flavorful. There we go. So I don't know, I was gonna sprinkle some soil over the top, but I don't know if we need to. So let me show you the seed starting mix that I'm using, and I've already wet this down pretty well. There we go. All right, so there you have it. That's done, just like that. So let me show you the seed starting mix that I'm using. I am using this EB Organic seed starting mix, and I just bought this big bag from the local nursery. This, I think it's 1.5 cubic feet. Yeah, so yeah, I just bought it from the nursery, and a big bag like that lasts me about a couple seasons, so depending on how many seeds you start. So that is what we're doing right now. And then what else was I going to show you? Oh, the baby ducklings. Let me show you the ducklings. There they are. Hi, sweeties. So I have these mealworms that I give them as a snack. And oh my goodness, they're so friendly now. They hear the bag. Look at that. So this one, I believe, is a little girl. And they've eaten, okay? They've eaten, but they're getting to be so friendly. So, right, little guys? So I just keep them here in the garden, underneath this plum tree. We have this little plum tree right here. And yeah, they just kind of stay in the little shaded area. They're so stinking cute. Look how cute they are. So then I put them right here in this little dog crate. And that's what's keeping them safe right now in the big garden. So yeah, we're definitely not going to keep them in here when they get bigger, because they're definitely going to eat everything. Right, guys? Huh? So cute. So cute. So that is what's happening in the garden, or that's what I'm planting, or what I'm starting, and what's happening on the farm. So starting some more tomato seeds. Oh my goodness, you guys, those onion seeds that I put down, something ate them. I came out here to the garden, and I noticed that the little seeds were half open and all over the top of the garden bed. So I don't know if we're gonna get any onions. I'm assuming it's a mouse, because I don't know if it's gonna be a bird. I have no idea. I don't know. I have no idea what critters are running around at night in the garden. I have seen some frogs, but those are good things. But yeah, so I think I might start some more onions. I might not. Now I noticed there's some green bunching onions that are growing in the garden, so I might just leave those in there. But other than that, hopefully everyone's staying cool, drinking lots of water, staying hydrated, and yeah, staying safe. So take care, be safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. This is how Bella stays cool when it's over 100 degrees outside.